It's Dortmund.
Someone among us?
Well, we apologise for this break in the programme. We're doing our best to rectify the fault, and we'll be rejoining Blake 7 just as soon as possible. Glad to say the fault has been cleared. We're now able to rejoin Blake 7.
Didn't it? A temptation, you said.
This is BBC Two.
Standing by.
Well, we're sorry, we obviously have one or two problems with getting to our programme, Are You Being Properly Served? We hope to join it in just a few seconds. In the meantime, a bit of music.
Look at this dust. I must remove every speck.
Well, we're sorry about losing the programme. We'll return to Babushka just as soon as we can.
What are you talking about?
Well, we're sorry about this break in the film, especially at this critical point. We're doing our very best to rectify the fault, and we'll be rejoining the action just as soon as possible. Once again, our apologies for the break in the film. We have now transferred the film to another projector. This will take 2 or 3 minutes, and we'll rejoin the action just where we left it off. Meanwhile, we'll continue this music, but we will be back with the Time Travellers just as soon as possible, probably in about 2 or 3 minutes.
The answer to XB right there. They'll know what to do with it back home.
Friendliest people in the universe. It's paradise, my friend. Paradise.
Lieutenant O'Neill, where is he?
Paradise.
Well, I'm sorry, Star Trek seems to have disappeared into space for just a moment. In the meantime, a little music, and we'll hope to rejoin the programme just as soon as we possibly can. And now I'm pleased to say we're able to rejoin Star Trek.
A search party consisting of 2 Enterprise officers were sent to the planet below. Mr. Sulu has returned.
This is the gun I've been looking for since the night I shot him.
What, that piece of junk got Rustin killed?
Yeah, junk, Walt. Pure unadulterated heroin. You cut it half a dozen times, should be worth $50,000-$60,000.
Rustin was running a dope ring.
Yeah, but not all by himself. He was contacted by Calvin York when he fell behind in his gambling debts. And they knew about his mercy flights to Baja.
So he became the messenger boy.
Let's put it back.
$50,000 a trip, not bad for a house call.
Well, it worked because of his unique position.
It made so many trips to Baja.
Well, we do apologise for this breakdown in Warning Shot. We'll be back with it just as soon as we can, and in the meantime, I'll play some music. Once again, we must apologise for this breakdown in our film Warning Shot. The film is being changed to another machine, and we should be back with it in a minute or so. Now, I'm very pleased to say that we can go back to our feature film.
For a house call.
Well, it worked because of his...
Well, once again, we must apologise for the breakdown in that movie. However, in a few moments, the news, and then at 10:25, the Val Dunicum Music Show with his special guests, Paul Daniels, Robert Goulet and Barbara Dixon. Our late film at 11:15 is a romantic comedy starring Jack Lemmon and Catherine Deneuve. Now on BBC One, the news and sport with Moira Stewart and Mark Austin.
Wait for me at the other end of the bridge. I'll walk across.
Right.
We're very sorry about that. We've lost your film for you, but we'll return to it just as soon as we can. We're very sorry to have lost your film for you, but we'll be returning to it in just a moment. In the meantime, some music. Well, once again, I must say I'm terribly sorry to have lost the film for you, but we will be returning to it in just a few moments. In the meantime, we're playing some music. Well, now I'm happy to say we're able to return to Waterloo Bridge and Robert Taylor.
I was right, Thomas. It's tonight.
We face the question of sport in half an hour, but before that, the question of a few bills for Tom and Barbara in the first of a series of The Good Life. Well, we're very sorry. That's a rather bad start, isn't it? What we'll do, obviously, is to work on things. The engineers will get things sorted as quickly as they possibly can, and we'll make a good start to The Good Life. In the meantime, we'll play some music. Well, we're very sorry that we made a bad start the last time for The Good Life, but this time it looks as though we could be in for a bit more luck. So here we go, the first of a series of The Good Life.
You're watching The Late Shift on Channel 4. With a bit of luck, we'll hopefully bring you the details of Baby Lawrence, the jazz-dancing hoofer. A few problems in obtaining Baby Lawrence to do his act. The Late Shift you are watching, due to start on its new regular slot of Tuesday nights. But it's having second thoughts about it, obviously. If you'll bear with us, at this late hour of the evening, we shall attempt to bring you two items on The Late Shift. They are Baby Lawrence, who is a man who is well in tune with jazz, simply by moving his feet. A man who has had a bebop dance style and taught many. And after that, with any luck, keep your fingers crossed, right about 20 minutes to 2 o'clock, we'll take a look at After Hours, what happens in the jazz clubs of New York, a vintage jazz film which features performances by Coleman Hawkins, Roy Eldridge, Milt Hinton, and Cozy Cole, not forgetting the vocalist Carol Stebbins. So, as I say, keep your fingers crossed. You never know what might happen. I certainly don't.
On Authentic Records about a British aristocrat's involvement with the Sioux Indians. Richard Harris and Judith Anderson star in A Man Called Horse. Well, I'm sorry, the action seems to have slowed down somewhat, in fact stopped on A Man Called Horse. We hope to get things back to normal just as soon as possible, if you'll bear with us a few moments. Just to reassure you, we are doing all we can at this moment to get the film back, and just as soon as we're able to, we'll be returning to it. Well, once again, let me just keep you informed that we are having to change machines to bring you the rest of this film. All will be well, we are told, in a few seconds' time. And just as soon as we go back to the film, as soon as it's running, we'll go back to it. Well, things seem to be much better now, except for Richard Harris, who's still having a fairly tough time of things. We rejoin the film just where we left it, nothing missed.
So now, on BBC One, the second of tonight's Warren Beatty films. Julie Christie and James Mason co-star, and Heaven Will Just Have to Wait. Well, I'm very sorry we don't seem to have Heaven Will Just Have to Wait for the time being. In the meantime, some music. Well, once again, I'm very sorry that we can't at the moment bring you the film Heaven Can Wait. We are doing all we can to get it to you, but in the meantime, I'll continue with the music. Well, I'm awfully sorry. We still are having problems finding our film, Heaven Can Wait. We are doing all we can, and we'll be back to you just as soon as we can. Well, this is BBC One, and I'm very sorry that we're now unable to bring you the scheduled film Heaven Can Wait. So now, here's a short film called Timescape.
Way to meet St. Peter.
That's right, Mo. You're on your way to meet Senor Peter.
So we seem to have a bit of a technical problem at the moment. We're trying to deal with the problem, and we'll see what we can do as best we can. Well, I'm terribly sorry. We seem to be having a bit of a technical difficulty at the moment. We'll try and restore things as soon as we can. Please do bear with us. Well, once again, we do apologise for this technical problem we're having at the moment. We're trying to get the film back for you just as soon as possible, if you bear with us. Well, I'm sorry about that technical difficulty we were having there. I'm pleased to say we've managed to get the film back for you, so let's join Jack all on his lonesome. Well, I'm really sorry about this problem that we're having. We can't seem to be bringing you the sound for tonight's film. It's really near the end and the climax. We are going to do our best to get the film back online and sort the sound problem out just as soon as possible. Very sorry about this. Do bear with us. Well, I'm very sorry. We still are having a bit of a problem bringing you the sound for our film. We're doing our best to sort it out. In the meantime, I shall play some music. Well, as enjoyable as that music is, I'm sure you'll agree. I'm sure you'd rather see what happened at the end of the film. We think we've managed to sort the problem out now, so we'll try again. And Jack is still on his own.
Now it's story time. Well, sorry about that, but we seem to be having a few problems with story time. We're sorting out the problems, so we're doing all we can to solve the problem. Once again, we're having problems with our programme Story Time, but in the meantime, while we're sorting them out, here's some music. Apologies once again, but now we can go to story time.
Well, once again, I must apologise for the technical problems that unfortunately now mean we're unable to return to the BBC News here on BBC One. I must, again, apologise for that. This is BBC One, and due to ongoing technical problems at Television Centre in London, we can't show the news from around the UK today. Instead, a compilation of reports from previous editions of the programme. Having problems with the power supply here at Television Centre in London, and so we're unable to bring you the usual full weather forecast, but I do have brief details for the UK for tonight. A band of rain will spread from the west. It'll be heavy in the north and patchy in the south, with temperatures down to 12 Celsius. This is BBC One, and as I've mentioned, I'm sorry to say that we've been having power problems here at Television Centre in London, so we're running a few minutes early, but it does mean we can soak up even more of the atmosphere on England's big night in Charleroi in Euro 2000 as we join Gary Lineker.
You're watching BBC World.
Another arrest over the deaths of Chinese immigrants. European Union leaders clinch a deal on savings tax despite Austria's attempts to block it. And Belgium says Britain didn't do enough to stop the hooligans travelling to Euro 2000. This is BBC News. Hello, I'm Gavin Esler. We're broadcasting from our Westminster studios because of power problems in and around BBC Television Centre in West London.
For the rather gloomy lighting, we've got severe power problems here in West London, so if I disappear from your screens, you'll know why. In the meantime, we'll carry...
BBC News tonight making its own news. Hugh Edwards was presenting BBC One's main bulletin when things started to go wrong. The final moment came a few minutes later during a report on Euro 2000.
Bypasses Belgian border controls.
Screens went blank as the power failed. Staff were immediately ordered to leave Television Centre as alarm systems were also affected. News 24 was among the casualties, so too were network radio services.
From a given moment in the show, we were expecting to fall off air, as we say, simply because we were warned that the generator was having problems and that it might just pack up for good. And when that happened, it happened during a report, and it just went, and there was a huge fizzle in the studio. The lights just disappeared with a big bang, and we were left there sitting in glorious isolation in complete darkness. From 6 million viewers to none in 1 second. It was quite an experience.
Now on BBC Two, Bill and Bernie put 3 on the number line. Well, I'm sorry about this, but we're having a bit of problem with the programmes at the moment. But don't worry, we'll sort it out as soon as we can and get the programmes back to you just as soon as possible. Well, I'm glad to say we can now go back to the programme. It's number time.
I'm racing down the number line.
Hello and good morning. It's Tuesday on BBC Two, and we start the day with CBBC.
Good morning, you're watching CBBC 2.
And a wonderful weekend of sport as well for the BBC, where we got a pretty...
Well, I'm sorry we seem to have lost our coverage of the derby. Do stay with us here on BBC One, and we'll hopefully return to Clare Balding as soon as we can.
Well, we apologise at home. We seem to have lost a connection between here at Epsom and London. I know that we've been away for a minute or two, but we're shortly going to go off air.
And for more information about issues relating to childbirth, log on to www.5.tv/factsheets. Coming next, our movie with Julia Roberts and Patrick Bergin. That's Sleeping with the Enemy. And that fact sheet again, that's www.5.tv factsheets. And I'm sorry, we seem to be having some problems with our technical side here. Please bear with us and we'll have our movie with Julia Roberts very shortly. Well, I'm sorry, we seem to be having a few technical problems here. We will be going to our movie very shortly. That's with Julia Roberts and Patrick Bergin, Sleeping with the Enemy. Well, I'm sorry, as you can see, we're still having some technical problems. We are going to our movie Sleeping with the Enemy very shortly, so please bear with us. Now, here's the movie.